What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you have a like button, please hit that like button. More likes. Oh, come on, thing. More likes, more hooligans. Let me test my audio stuff because apparently it wasn't working. Having all these technical issues, which is why we're so late. Set everything up, then we had an update, then the computer had reset, then my camera took a shit, then I had to change the settings. Now I'm all red and I don't know why, and we're locked into 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second, but I'm not gonna let it get me down. Fuck the bullshit. I'm happy to be here with all of you hooligans. We're gonna read over the schedule really quick, and then we're gonna flip through all the chats, make sure that you guys are all here and I'm not just screaming at my TV in my living room, and then we'll go ahead and get her started. We're gonna be starting off with a video titled, "Who Cares What Democrats Think?" It's just a little warm-up from Newsmax, talking about how they're just really trying to get stuff done, and they're tired of red team fighting with each other and finger-popping each other's booty holes. They're just over it. They're over it. Then we have a video titled, "Embarrassing. Somebody Reacts to Chaotic Day on Capitol Hill." Kind of touched about that. We touched about that, speaking like old man Walter. We talked about that yesterday a little bit. I think somebody had mentioned it in the chat, and we went and found a video of people talking about throwing hands. They were like, "Get your butt up, partner," and they were going to throw some hands or whatever. So there's that. McCarthy apparently nudged another senator with his elbow to their kidney or something during an interview on TV. I don't know. Red team fighting with each other, doing some schoolyard nonsense instead of getting shit done. You know, it is what it is. Then we have a video titled, "Newly Released Images Show Cocaine Found in the White House." They're bringing it back. They're bringing that story back. I still don't think they have any answers. They're just really kind of normalizing cocaine in the White House, I guess. That's the only reason I see that they're bringing it up. Because you know they're not going to hold anybody accountable. They had Hunter Biden tested to just make sure that was real cocaine. And so, yeah, that's that. Anyways, then we have a video titled, "Hunter Biden Moves to Subpoena President Trump." So stupid. So stupid. Hunter Biden's trying to say that the only reason that he's being prosecuted for all these crimes, you know, just illegally having firearms and this, that, and the other and whatever, the only reason that's happening is because President Trump wants to play political games. That's why. I mean, Trump wasn't there. He wasn't even involved in it in any way, but it's Trump's fault because that's all they got. That's the last card they got in the deck. So they're going to subpoena Trump to talk about Hunter Biden's problems. I think he needs a counselor and a safety blanket if he's really feeling that kind of way. Anyways, then we have a video titled, "Homeowner Shocked as Migrants Enter U.S. Through His Backyard." That story is upsetting. That is going to be frustrating for everyone. Because he's like sitting there watching groups of people pass through his property, and it talks about how there's just nothing he can do. If he interferes, it's him interfering with federal stuff going on. So basically the federal government would come arrest him if he prevented people from illegally coming into the country using his backyard. I couldn't imagine going through that. I couldn't imagine that. It's the government is treasonous. We'll be wrapping things up with a video that I think people have been kind of waiting for. It's titled, "Las Vegas Police Arrest 8 Suspect Ages Between 13 and 17 for Murder in Teens Beating to Death." People have been talking about this for the last couple days. This story has been going around Twitter and all of that. These group of teenagers beat this kid to death. Now, people believed it was a skin color thing, but in the video, they claim it's not a hate crime, that the individuals involved in the beating are of all races, and so it wasn't a hate crime. I don't know if that's true or if they're trying to prevent heat and any more racial division. Not quite sure. I haven't seen the video of him getting beat necessarily. I have seen the mob of kids surrounding him, like really short clips of the videos on Twitter, but I don't know. I don't know. All the context always is, every time I've seen the video, they've just been like, "Oh, it's a hate crime. You know, 30 black kids beat up a white kid, beat him to death, blah, blah, blah." And that's what the captions always say. But as far as actually watching it happen, I haven't seen a full video yet. So I don't really have an opinion on that. But that's that. So we're going to flip through the chat really quick, make sure everything is running, making sure that you hooligans are here, present, and doing well. And then we're going to go ahead and get her started What's up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Annette? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Matt? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? Oh, we can get those likes up. Come on now, hooligans. 20 likes. There's 97 of you in the chat. Hit the like button. Come on, man. Get us on the front page. I believe in you. You can do it. What's up, Astro Hammer? What's up, Snooks? What's up, MU? Appreciate you guys being here. Let's see. Scrolling through. You guys are hanging out waiting for me to go live. I was over here having tech issues, ripping my hair out. That's what happened. I was ripping my hair out, okay? Just don't talk about the bald spots. Anyways, what's up, MU? What's up, Pumpkin? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Sly Dog? What's up, Christy Star? What's up, Shannon? What's up, Jeb? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Turbo? I think we got everyone. What's up, Serum? Slackers. Serum saying you guys are slackers. Gotta hit that like button. Gotta get us on the front page. Gotta do the thing. What's up, everyone over on Odyssey? Snooks, you were first. Snooks, you were first today. Appreciate everyone being over on Odyssey. Let's see here. What's up, everyone over on D Live? Happy Freedom. Can I turn timestamps? Oh, I can, so I can tell what's from today. Oh, that's not from today. Either way. Happy Freedom, you hooligans over on D Live. What's up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, DeRosa? Flipping the chapstick already? Right in their face. You know, that's all right. That's all right. Appreciate you being here, DeRosa. Happy Freedom. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Matt? Matt, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Oh, Snooks was first over on Twitch as well. What's up, everyone over on GoofTube? Proud Patriot Girly, you were first over on YouTube. Appreciate you running to the live. Let me get you guys this link really quick. I know you need it. You hear my new keyboard clicking clacking? I love it. I'm so glad that Don Sparks sent me that. I love my new keyboard. Oh, come on, YouTube. Stop being like that. They tried to take away the chat box where you type in the box. They just removed it. They were like, no, it's bad enough we got to hear your bullshit. We don't want you typing in our chat. YouTube sucks. What's up, High Plains Drifter? What's up, Mike Drop? What's up, Sawdog? What's up, Ohio Kyle? Happy Freedom. What's up, Anthony? Appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Sly Dog, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, FOMO? Cheeky Chops. Happy Freedom. What's up, John? What's up, Animated Adventure? What's up, Tree Herder? Flipping through really quick. What's up, Joshua? Nudge Gate. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. I don't know. They sound like a bunch of sissies up there. What's up, T. Lawton? Happy Freedom. What's up, Suzette? What's up, Melba? Melba, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I ain't caught you in the chat in a little bit. What's up, MD Cyrun? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Elisa? Try to make sure I don't miss anybody. So I appreciate all of you guys. What's up, Drock? Let's see, Brock. Oh, Drock. My bad. I was thinking Pokemon. My bad. When I was a kid in the 90s, me and my family got severely beaten for being white. We're mixed, no hate crime charges. Yeah, when I was younger, when I was 12 years old or so, the neighbors used to let the dogs go on us because we were white. So, I mean, I know what you're feeling. I don't know. I've learned to just put that stuff down. People who got hate in their heart, they want to put that hate in your heart. Don't let them get you down. Not everybody's a racist piece of shit. And if you can't get back at that family, like they say, frontier style, if you can't do that, and that's not always the right way to go, just try and let it go. Because otherwise it can really skew your perspective, and it ends up just carrying that hate in your heart, and it's weighing you down, not anybody else. I know what you're saying, though. I've been there. What's up, Larry and Maddie? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Tim? What's up, Lanita? I think your name is. Appreciate you being here from Akron, Ohio. You're awesome. What's up, Marvin? All right, hooligans, we're going to go ahead and get this started. We're starting off with this first video titled, Who Cares What Democrats Think? It's a little rant here from Newsmax. I figured it'd be a good way to warm up. First, I want to remind you guys, go and check out the new 2A shirts. We got shirts, tank tops, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs. We got clothes for women and men. So if you got boobies, don't worry. We're not forgetting about you. because there's only men and women in the world. If that shirt is too bold of a statement for you to rock, and I can understand that, can't go wrong with Screaming Goat. Everybody loves the Screaming Goat. I'll drop the link in the chat while you guys are watching this first video.
Capitol Hill is potentially the greatest reality show on TV these days, and the spending fight, just keeping the government from shutting down this week, is just part of it. This morning, two Republicans, Tim Burchett and former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, as I mentioned earlier, they got into like a shoving match. It wasn't really a fight, but they call it that on the House floor. Now, I personally like Tim Burchett, and not so much Kevin McCarthy, but this is amongst our own party. Now, quick disclaimer, neither Newsmax nor Carl Higbee endorses any political violence, but when are we going to start getting this mad at Democrats? Seriously, I have never seen a Republican bow up to a Democrat on the House floor for trying to strip our rights, tax us to death, force us to take a vaccine. I'm certainly not saying someone should take a swing at Hakeem Jeffries, folks. I'm not saying that. But maybe a bit of this same party anger could be constructively redirected to actually help the American people. Just saying. From the outside looking in, it seems pretty dysfunctional. The bottom line is, and I haven't been shy about this at all, I don't care if the government shuts down. The government doesn't work for us when it's open. In fact, it means when it is, they're just wasting our money. Shut it down. At least it stops it from growing. Think about this. In 1983, the year I was born, yes, I'm 40 years old, the federal government's entire budget was $660 billion total. More than that goes to the Pentagon now. In 1990, we crossed $1 trillion, 2005, $2 trillion, 2011, $3 trillion, and it jumped way up to $5 trillion in 2020. Now, aside from a brief single-digit fluctuation, occasionally spending does go down a little bit, but it pretty much just trends upward like an escalator the entire time. We keep taking in more and more money with the relative fluctuation, but that keeps going up too. In 1999 and 2000, those are the only 2 years in my entire life that we took in more money than we spent. We've run a deficit for 38 years of my life. And Congress, instead of actually fixing this problem, would rather fight amongst themselves. You and I are sitting there screaming at the top of our lungs to stop spending money because it's making the money in my bank account worth less every day. Yet they keep printing it, and they keep lighting it on fire, and they keep flushing the ashes down the toilet. They don't listen to us. I mean, why is this so hard? I want Republicans who just went through a grueling speaker swap to hold the line. You all campaigned on fiscal responsibility, closing the border, yada, yada, whatever else. Pass a bill that prioritizes that. Stop sending out fundraising emails promising it. Just do it. Who cares what the Democrats in the Senate think about it? Chuck Schumer can choose to or not to take it up as long as he wants. But if Republicans pass a bill with our priorities, it's not the Republicans who are shutting down the government. It's Democrats. And we should be super vocal about that. Look, Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic minority leader, already told reporters on Monday that Democrats have zero intention to vote for this new rule that was going to help them pass the CR. Now they're saying they're on board with potentially the new CR on the House floor, so we're going to see how that plays out. I mean, great job, libs. Truly way to be there for the American people. Let's just keep lighting more money on fire and whatever Republicans vote for it. Why are Republicans always, and I mean always, trying to pass things that we think Democrats might vote for? Who cares what they think? We have the House now. Everything they touch turns to crap. Look, I guess some of us can swallow some of their spending policies if we get meaningful change. And just to be clear, I view meaningful change as like losing the Department of Education and then chopping another clean trillion right off the top of our spending. But come on, guys. How about you don't spend more than we take in? That's kind of a good deal. It's costing us $1 trillion a year to service our own debt. That's a lot of money. You should not rely on Democrats for any of this. They are diametrically opposed to anything that reflects anything from our party platform. If there is something that the Democrats agree with us on outside of oxygen, either that Democrat has been hanging out with Cheech and Chong too long, or your bill is not conservative enough to fulfill your campaign promises.
Well, like I said, he's going on a little bit of a rant there. Now, it's the same guy that was saying that they were able to turn his area red by using blue team tactics, and it worked. It was successful, turned his area red. And we had talked about how I don't personally believe that it's the right path to behave like they do just to get things done, right? Don't lower your own standards just to compete with a bunch of cheaters and liars and stuff like that. And so we had talked about that, and in this aspect, I hear what he's saying, because he's kind of outlining that red team in the Senate do a lot of kind of bending the knee to meet blue team. Blue team isn't willing to do anything that's not radical or hurting the American people. Red team knows they're not going to get anything passed, so instead of standing on what they believe in, they just cater to the soft and stupid feelings of blue team, and they're just praying to get things passed. But when you're doing that, when you're watering down your policies just to try and get someone else on board, even when they pass, you're not really helping the American people. So what the hell are they doing? They're not helping us. They're not doing anything to benefit us, and that's their whole job. And so I hear what he's saying. I think that they should just stand up for what they believe is right for all of us and all that stuff, and just let whatever happen. Now, that sounds contrary to progress, but in reality, if good policies are trying to be passed over and over again, and they keep highlighting blue team won't pass this stuff that everybody wants, well, then it just shines a lot of spotlight on what the problem is. The problem is how blue team is behaving. But as long as red team is catering to the low standards of blue team, red team is not any better in that instance. So therefore, they are all the problem, because no one is benefiting the American people, because no one's passing policies that are worth anything. And so that's my 2 cents on it. We're going to flip through the chat really quick and see what you guys think. And after that, we're going to move on to embarrassing so-and-so reacts to chaotic day on Capitol Hill, where they're going to touch on a lot of the conflicts going on that happen to be just between red team. Red team don't like each other. I mean, we talk about that all the time, about how blue team is kind of devolved into a real primitive state to where they will eat each other if they get bored enough. So they try to stay on task of what kind of radical agenda that they have, and they will even kamikaze sacrifice themselves for their cause if they feel that's necessary. They will build a tower of humans to reach the pedestal that they're trying to get on, where red team just cares about being right. They want to be the king. They want to be like, I'm right. And the other guy's like, no, I'm right. You're wrong. He's like, well, I'm not wrong. That guy's wrong. I'm right. And they do so much of that bullshit that they're not getting anything done. There is too many chiefs and not enough Indians going on there. And we see it all the time from protests and anything. Anybody who identifies as their party, they use it as part of their identity, they get stuck in that. Blue team is primitive and radical, and they eat each other, and red team has their nose in the air, and they're too worried about being right, and neither side is getting anything done. And we're all standing here, just regular people, being like, what the fuck are y'all doing? That's what's going on right now, or at least that's what I'm perceiving. And it'd be nice to see somebody get some shit done that actually benefits America. I'd be pretty excited if I saw some stuff like that. Either way, we're gonna read through the chat really quick. And that should have shut the damn government down. I know. That's the only nice thing about, well, it's not the only nice thing, but one of the nice things about us not covering the press briefings the last couple times they've been on, which there wasn't one today. We didn't hear any of that crying, that threatening that was going on last time they were worried about the government shutdown, where they were coming on TV and they were like, we're going to turn off your food stamps. We're going to cut veteran benefits. We're going to shut all these programs down, and you're going to suffer, as if it's our fault that they are terrible with money, that they mismanage money. They're going to shut down the government because they can't budget our tax dollars. So what are they going to do? They're going to cut our benefits like it's our fault. And so at least we got to miss all of that, because that stuff pisses me off. I don't even get any kind of assistance or anything, and it pisses me off to have them come out and talk to us like it's our fault that they're sending all that money overseas instead of putting it right here where we need it. As long as we got homeless and hungry Americans, we need that money to stay here, and they need to pull their head out of their ass and realize that. Let's see. Here, Juice, that keyboard is fake. I recognize that Fallout sound effect. I know. It's real. I promise it's real. But you got me jonesing for some Fallout. I love that. We're going to be playing the game today. There's no reason not to. My voice still kind of sounds like shit, but I'm not coughing and hacking like I was yesterday. So we should be playing the game later today, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Kick, jeffmaclive.com, as well as Jeff Mac Gaming over on YouTube. What's up, Nefties? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. And there was the White Supreme Pizza again. I'm kind of surprised they didn't say that about the teen being beat. Like, oh, those kids had to beat him to death. He was a White Supreme Pizza. Maybe they'll come out and say that. Maybe KJP will come out in a week or so and talk about it. We'll see. We'll see. What's up, Cody? Happy freedom. What's up, Addie Walker? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Raja? Happy freedom. Guess some Jay. Too many Chiefs, not enough. Commanders can't. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh, I'm going to get a strike on YouTube. They're like, you're being racist. You're using analogies that we don't approve of. You're getting suspended. Fucking YouTube. Damn YouTube. Hovering over me. Well, God bless you, Raja. I appreciate you being here. Jesus, Serum. I'd wipe Bobert front to back. Well, I think she needs a little pick-me-up. I don't think she's been doing that well since the whole groping incident at the Beetlejuice concert she was at. There's articles saying that the Republicans have abandoned Bobert, and she hasn't been sticking her face out in the sunlight ever since it happened, because every time she does, somebody brings up her getting her titties grabbed on and all this stuff. So, I mean, she might need that good cheering up, Serum. She needs some hooligan love in her life. You have to hit her up in her DMs on Twitter. Let us know how it goes. We're cheering you on, bro. We got your back. Just reading through. Pumpkin, kids in D.C. need their credit cards taken away. You're not wrong. They got 13-year-olds out there performing Grand Theft Auto. One of them was just shot to death because of it. They need parenting. That's what it is. If you got excessive parenting skills, you need to take a trip to D.C. and whoop some asses out there, because those kids need it. They need it. They got heathens out there. They don't got children. It's heathens. They're in competition with Chicago and New York, trying to see who can burn their city down faster. It's terrible. It's terrible. What's up, RK? What's up, Disco? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Wolf Scout? It's been a while since I've said that. I was in Boy Scouts for a long time, so that Wolf Scout hit me right here. Hit me right here. I remember being a Wolf Scout. I can't remember how old I was. Probably like 10 years old. Something like that. I was standing tall and shining bright even back then. Let's see. Serum, she learned not to date Democrats that day. Is that what happened to Bobert? She's like, see, if I was running around with red team, they'd have never caught me. They'd have never caught me on camera. Running around blue team, got caught with the night vision. Yep. What's up, Dawn? Happy freedom. What's up, Silver Wolf? Appreciate you being here. Just flipping through really quick. Thank you so much, Cassandra, for donating a lemon over on D Live. I appreciate you, Cassandra. Thank you. Thank you so much, Animated Adventure, for donating a lemon on D Live. You're awesome, Animated Adventure. Thank you. Appreciate all the support, you hooligans. What's up, Garlic Press? Happy freedom. What is your name? Samurai Pneumonia? That's a pretty badass username, I ain't gonna lie. That's a good one. If I seen that on Call of Duty, I'd be like, nah, this person's got something. They got something. Samurai Pneumonia, are you a Republican or a Democrat? I'm a hooligan. I'm an American. That's all. I'm an American. I don't use that stuff to be a part of my identity. You could say that my beliefs are a little bit conservative leaning. I guess if you had to put labels on me, that I guess you could go that route. I believe in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that's what I believe in. So, tis what tis. Do you agree with Vivek Ramaswamy? I mean, I'm not gonna say I agree with him. I haven't watched him enough to say such a bold statement such as that. But I think he says all the right things, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. It's Orange Eagle all day. All day. We're backing Trump. We'll worry about Ramaswamy and all those other guys in 2028. Until then, it's Orange Eagle. It's Orange Eagle season. What's up, Shunt? Happy freedom. What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, C1? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Blank Page? What? Or I don't know what you guys are talking about. Going in. Cheeky Chops, Small Sick. Oh, I can't say that out loud. That's related to the Middle East and all that. I can't talk about that. Tree Herder, he's an implant. I think so too. I think Ramaswamy's a plant. I think somebody put him there. Because he just said, like I'm saying, he says all the right things. It's like he spent a weekend on a Discord of Q viewers and he just hears all the rhetoric that goes on. You hear a lot of repetitive phrasing and stuff, not just from Q people, but people who are skin deep red team, you know, right? They're not diehard red team. They're just on the surface red team, and they just all say the same thing. They parrot things that they hear, and I think Ramaswamy hears a little bit of that, and then he goes on stage and repeats it, right? He wants to call out fake news. He wants to talk about what happened in 2020, and he says all the right things. Where the hell did he come from, though? Where was he at in 2020? How come he wasn't standing up like MTG and Boebert and Matt Gaetz and so on and so forth, talking about how the election went, talking about how they're damning President Trump? Where was he at then? He wasn't around when stones were coming down, when buildings were getting kicked over, when censorship was in full-blown motion. He wasn't around. Now he's here talking from the tower tops like he knows what's going on to be one of us. No, I think he was put here. I think he's told what to say. I think he's here to trick the red team and to trick conservatives to choosing him over Trump. So when they do bad stuff to Trump, everybody's got their focus on Ramaswamy. You don't see Trump going down over here. Trump's the one sticking up for us. Ramaswamy is just a fork-tongued talker. That's all he is. He's over here selling used Cadillacs. I'm not worried about that. We'll worry about that in 2028. Until then, it's Orange Eagle all day. All day. Reading through a little bit more before we move forward. You guys get me all riled up. Might have to have a TED talk here. You never know. What's up, Independent? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Cheeky Chops, the Beetle pimp. The Democrat with Boebert, is that what he was? He was the Beetlejuice pimp. He brings all his hot dates out to Beetlejuice. What's up, CB? Happy freedom. Alright, well, I think we've read through enough. What's up, Christina? Happy freedom. What's up, Jetlag? Jetlag, that's what I've been saying all along. He popped up out of nowhere, just like Obama did. Yeah. Yep. A lot of people call him Little Obama, because he does have... He's almost like word for word quoted Obama while he's on stage thinking he's really saying something. And so a lot of people have been wondering, who manufactured this guy? What's up, AB? Happy freedom. It's fine if you like Vivek. I'm not coming for anybody. It's fine if you guys like Vivek. I don't care. I'm just putting my 2 cents on it. That's how I feel about it. But I'm not gonna damn you, you know, because you like the guy. It's just, you're a free hooligan. Free to like what you want. I'm not gonna demonize you because of it. It's swell. It's fine. No worries. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. What's up, Donna Sparks? Appreciate you being here. You got a full house. Alright, hooligans, we're moving on to this next one. It's titled Embarrassing. So-and-so reacts to chaotic day on Capitol Hill. Now, we showed a little bit of this yesterday as it was happening, as I was being informed that it was happening. But this is a kind of a summary of all the events that happened yesterday, because it wasn't just the one guy talking about throwing hands during an interview. McCarthy and another person got into it, and I want to say there's something else that happened, but red team all bickering and fighting with each other. That's what is going on here. Let's get it started.
Tweeted at me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company myself. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution every problem?
No, sit down. Sit down. Look at you. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
That is the morning buzz. It was a chaotic day on Capitol Hill yesterday. It did not stop there. Watch this.
That story that you tweeted also said I had a shell company. That is bull. The White House tried to get CNN to write that story. They went around and investigated all this bull that Ian Sams is trying to tell people that only dumb, financially illiterate people pick up on. I went to the bank and I borrowed money and I bought that land. I didn't get wires from Romania, China. My family doesn't get wires. Okay? Never loaned my brother money. Don't have an LLC. But you and Goldman, who is Mr. Trust Fund, continue to try to
reclaiming my time.
No, I'm not going to give you your time back. We can stop the clock. You all continue to. You look like a Smurf here, just going around and all this stuff. Now listen,
Mr. Chairman.
And then there may have been a physical altercation as well. Watch this.
Why'd you elbow me in the back, Kevin?
I know, I felt so bad.
Hey, Kevin, you got any guts? Jerk.
Huh. What's a new move?
Hey, Kevin, why'd you walk by me and elbow me in the back? You got no guts. You did so. They sat there and the reporter said it right there. What kind of chicken move is that? You're pathetic, man.
Wow. Back and forth on Capitol Hill, fighting, name-calling. Your thoughts?
I was on with Jesse Waters last night. He compared it to the Coliseum. That's what Capitol Hill has become at this point. The fact that this all happened in the same day, I
on
can't
the
even
Senate
begin to.
floor?
Yeah, you have Comer calling somebody a Smurf. That was interesting. Overall, I don't.
Tim Burchett accusing McCarthy of elbowing him in the back.
And then said he did it in his kidneys, and said even many minutes later that he was still hurting from it. Maybe he just accidentally bumped into him. There's just nothing plausible about that particular story. But overall, this shows you where civility is in this country when you have United States senators and congressmen acting like this. It's nothing to be proud of. Bernie Sanders was the adult in the room.
It also shows the division now.
Well, it's why
Congress.
we can't get anything done.
Yeah.
I mean, you wonder why they can't pass simple resolutions, or why even Republicans go after Republicans, which is just a crying shame. This is why. They're children. They're cats.
Well, and, that's why we saw the speaker thrown out just recently, attacks on policies. It looks like they're rallying around Mike Johnson, but that was embarrassing yesterday.
It's sophomore year all over again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Stand your butt up. No, you stand your butt up. These are grown men. You're on national television.
Honestly, when we played the first clip, I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live thing. And then I realized, oh, no, this is real.
Yeah. How do you do this if you're Saturday Night Live? The parody's already written itself in real life.
That is too much.
I have a theory about this.
Yeah.
So remember, last time I was on your set, Janet Yellen was over in China eating magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
Maybe she brought some of those back and put them in the water.
Yeah,
That's my theory.
right.
Good one.
Well, don't even get me started on that, Stacey. Okay, they fed the Treasury Secretary psychedelic mushrooms, and she laughed about it and thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
We should try the machine now that he's over here and see what the reaction would be.
Imagine if we did that to Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
Imagine if we did that to a Chinese official.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in Los Angeles.
I think there would be a different reaction than the U.S.'s reaction.
Well, I thought that was mildly entertaining. Now, really, instead of fighting with each other, they should be getting shit done. The country's on fire, and they're over here fighting over their pride for no reason. I think the turtle was gonna get his ass beat though. Like, just thinking about it, the guy stood up. The guy was talking about how I wish you were there when I started my plumbing company and all this stuff, because the turtle was talking that shit. When the guy stood up and he started taking his rings off, I could tell by that body language he wasn't willing to lose that fight. He was going to knock the turtle out. I wish they would have did that. Hold up. I don't want bad things to happen, but I kind of wonder what would have happened if they had really scuffled there on live TV. They probably would have blamed it on white supreme pizza. They both would have been declared white supreme pizza, and something bad probably would have happened. But that guy sounded like he was really saying something. And, don't talk like that if you ain't willing to get your teeth knocked out. You got to stand all the way up on what you believe. And if you believe that guy's corrupt and he's coming to knock your teeth out, you better put your hands up. That's all I know. Don't be talking like that if you ain't willing to throw some hands. They're acting like a bunch of little girls, though. When Bernie Sanders has to be the one regulating the room, you gonna let the socialists call things? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, silly people. And then the one guy got called a Smurf. I don't know. They need to put their heads together and actually get shit done. Stop bickering like that if they're not gonna throw hands. And if they are gonna throw hands, they need to hurry up and get it done. Dust each other off, go drink a beer and get it over with, and then get some shit done. But come on, man. Like, come on. All that bickering and stuff is a bunch of nothing. And then I watched another video talking about McCarthy sticking his elbow in the back of that other guy, senator or whatever he is. I didn't see the actual interaction as it went through, but it was an interview for the guy that's not McCarthy, Burchett or whatever his name is, and he insists that he was doing an interview and McCarthy had passed by with his security, and he felt nudged from behind, described as like forearm, elbow to his back, to his kidney area, and shoved him forward to the point where he had kind of stepped forward in the interview, almost like, butting into the reporter with the microphone. And even the reporter had said, like, wow, I've never seen that before, thinking it was a joke. But then I guess Burchett turned and went after Kevin McCarthy to confront him immediately, like stop doing the interview to turn and go address what had just happened. So I don't know if they were just making a scene because the cameras were on, or if there really was a conflict. I'm not sure, but they just downplayed it in that video, so I don't know. And I don't know anything about Burchett. I've never seen that person before, so who knows? Maybe they're being flimsy, took an opportunity to be a victim and point McCarthy out as a bad guy. Maybe there really is some animosity going on between them. If they're not throwing hands, I don't see how we're going to have a follow-up for that, but it is what it is. We're going to move forward. We're going to read through the chat and all of that. The next one we have is titled Newly Released Images Show Cocaine Found in the White House. Now, I'm not sure why they're bringing this back, because this story is like over a month old at this point, but they want to talk about how there was cocaine in the White House a little bit more, so we're going to cover it and see what's going on. I doubt they'll ever get to the bottom of it, though. Let's see. And at the WWE, we'll be looking at them for new entertainment. That's a good one. They probably, because those guys, they're acting, I don't know. They're acting soft out there. The one guy who's taking his rings off, I bet he's willing to throw hands. I've heard him stand up and speak for gun rights. When facing bans and stuff, I think they were banning bump stocks at the time, and this guy got on there and was like, you guys don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you don't even know what a high-capacity magazine is if you're referencing clips, because clips and magazines are not the same thing. And then went on to talk about how the bump stock is not enhancing the firearm as far as how the firearm mechanically functions. And he was standing up for gun rights, which we need more people like that. We need more people like that, because there's a lot of people out there spreading propaganda that guns are bad. Guns are not bad. Guns are like a hammer. It's a tool to be used. It's the person wielding the weapon that is either a good or a bad guy, and we don't have enough people preaching that. So anybody that's pro-gun and has a brain on their, in their dome piece, then I'm supporting that. But either way, I'm going to read through the chat really quick before moving forward. Matt, why take your rings off? It could be weapons. That's kind of what I was saying when we covered it yesterday. I was like, I don't know. Like, the only thing worse than having somebody take the rings off is having them leave them on. Because if you get rocked by somebody wearing rings, not only is your face messed up for at least a week, but then they can tell who smacked you because they left brand marks on you. They're like, I recognize those rings. You must have got hit by so-and-so. See, you should watch your mouth when you're out there talking wild. And you're just sitting there trying to cover up the ring marks. So you're like, yeah, I should have been talking that shit. It happens. It happens. Hair juicer don't want to scrub the blood off of them, or you could wear it as a trophy. You come into work the next day, your rings are all rose gold. They're like, what? Dang, dude, you didn't clean your rings off? You're like, nah, bud, just in case. Just in case. It's like heads on pikes. It's a warning sign. Like, hey, anybody else talking that shit, showing those rings off? I don't know. Not your wedding ring, though. You wouldn't want your wedding band to get all messed up. Then you got to go home and explain to your wife, like, yeah, so-and-so, he was talking crazy. I had to let him have it. The wife don't care. She's going to be upset that you messed your ring up. So you had to beat somebody's ass at work. Now you go home, you got to explain to the wife why your rings are messed up. Now she's whooping your ass. And, you know, the day's already been hard enough. So I guess in that aspect, I could see why he's taking the rings off. Don't want to catch those hands when you get home. Nothing like washing the dishes and catching a haymaker at the same time. Can't piss off the wife. Happy wife, happy life. Let's see. Cassandra, that's what I was thinking. Maybe he was fixing his rings to be diamonds facing up. Could have been. Could have been. Hair juicer, I would pay to see a fight on C-SPAN. They'd be getting ratings like they've never had, I'm sure. FOMO, it's all theatrics. Probably. I wish they would stop with the theatrics and actually get some shit done, though. Tired of all the goofing around. Mr. B knew men's rings are cheap. F it up on his head. I don't know, my rings are not cheap. Like, not at all. But his might have been. Wedding bands aren't very expensive. RK. That's where the fighting should happen. We shouldn't be going to war then. I mean, if we can't get our shit together, I don't think we should be delegating what other countries are doing. And that's something that we kind of do. Is like every country has a little bit of America in it. We have a base there, or we have a base nearby, or we have some sort of carrier ship nearby. Every country has a little bit of America in it. And yeah, we shouldn't be sticking our noses in other people's business if we ain't getting, you know, we ain't got our stuff together over here. Guess Jay, his hits would have been late. He's UPS. Well, if he was FedEx, he'd have never shown up. It'd been just a sticker on the door. What's up, Can Killer? Happy freedom. Appreciate you joining us. Samurai Pneumonia, do you think that Trump will take Ramaswamy as a running mate? I don't think so. I just don't think Ramaswamy's been around long enough for anybody to really latch on and buddy up with him. You don't see anybody being buddy with Ramaswamy. You'll never see him shaking hands or taking pictures with other well-known people. He's kind of like on his own out there, wandering around trying to say the right things long enough for somebody to be his buddy. I don't think Trump's going to take him. It's kind of hard to say because a lot of people thought maybe it would be Carrie Lake, but then Carrie Lake said that she's not really willing to do VP because I think she wants to go Senate. She wants to be a senator, I believe. And then what was the other one that people were saying would be a good running mate? Some people were talking about Tucker Carlson when they were all at the UFC fight together. I don't know if Tucker Carlson's the right guy for the job. If he was press secretary, though, that would be awesome. Could you imagine Tucker Carlson being press secretary, coming out doing the press briefings? We would cover every single one of those if that happened. We wouldn't even miss one. As far as a running mate, I wish that he would choose the governor of South Dakota. I can't think of her name right now, but she's awesome. She's a badass from what I can tell. She sounds like a leader when she speaks, and from what they describe, the people in South Dakota are happy people because of her policies. So I think she would be really good for VP. I don't know. I want to say that she said she would be willing. If Trump chose her, she would be willing to be VP. I don't know how the people of South Dakota feel about that because they were saying the same thing about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis potentially could, be president, blah, 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 before everyone found out about his high heels. People were saying that stuff, and the people in Florida were pissed. They were like, we didn't elect you to be governor so you could just go part-term and then go run off and be president and stuff like that. So a lot of people in Florida were pissed, and I wonder if the locals of South Dakota would feel the same way if their governor went and became VP after she was, just elected as governor. So I'm not really sure as far as VP goes. I don't really have anyone that stands out in mind that I think would potentially be Trump's VP. Reading through. Mr. Beansy Beans, I like to see Matt Gaetz, Tucker Carlson, Carrie Lake, Byron McDonald's. I don't know who Byron is. I think Matt Gaetz could be good for VP, but I've never seen him do a whole lot. He is mouthy, and I do kind of like that about him. But I don't even really know what the VP does after looking at Hyena Harris. What does she do? She doesn't do anything. So it makes me wonder, what is the VP even for? Other than being backup in case something happens to the main guy, I don't even know what VP does. AB, Christy Nome. Walk back banning boys from girls' sports. Oh, really? I haven't heard that. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, that's no good. Boys don't need to be in girls' sports. That doesn't need to be that way. Just reading through really quick before we move forward here. Marvin, he took the rings off so he can load up the brass knuckles. That would have been too much. A buddy of mine got hit with brass knuckles and his face was hanging. I mean, he was like split all, like it was like, started like here and it split across his nose and came over here and his whole face was split open. We had to carry him to the hospital. Like he couldn't even walk. Brass knuckles are too much. There's a reason why they're outlawed. Like big time. Like that would have been too much for the turtle. The turtle, I think Turtle probably wouldn't have survived 2 punches. That big dude, when he stood up, you could tell by his build, he was fit to fight. Turtle wasn't looking like that. I think he'd have caught the 1-2 without a biscuit, caught that 2-piece, and that'd have been it for the Turtle. I don't even think he'd have got fully out of his chair before he'd have knocked those glasses off of him. So I don't know. The Turtle was acting like he wanted it, but I think he'd have got his ass beat. I've been in a lot of fights, and so I don't think the Turtle had it. He was running those lips. The guy was reading off the statements that were said by the Turtle, but nah, I think he'd have caught 2 pieces of that and he'd have been done. He'd have been full. He'd have been full. Let's see. Thank you for letting me know, AB. I'm going to look it up after the live, but thank you for letting me know. Come on now. Do you think? There we go. Alright, so anyways, we're going to move forward. This next one's titled, Newly Released Images Show Cocaine Found at the White House. I mean, that only took a month or two.
The Secret Service.
I think they're just trying to normalize cocaine at the White House. I think that's all they're trying to do. Anyways, let's get it started.
The Secret Service knew the coke was found in the library and put it in a cubby and closed the case. James Fitzgerald is a retired FBI criminal profiler and a forensic linguist. James, so they have DNA, and they've had it the whole time, and they're preserving it. What's going on here?
I think you'd almost have to do a few lines of cocaine, Jesse, to understand all that you went through and all this investigation has been happening with this investigation over the last few months. It seems like obfuscation is the prime operating word here. Confuse everyone as much as possible. I'll leave out the clue game references with library to Cubby and who knows where Colonel Mustard may be or someone like that. But this should be a very simple investigation. A bag is found somewhere. Police, Secret Service are called. Here's the evidence. Send it to the lab. But there's just so much going on here. You can't help but ask yourself, and any you don't have to even be an experienced profiler. Just ask yourself, there's just too much gone wrong here. No investigator is that bad. Even a crack investigator, no pun intended, would somehow get the basic information right here, get it off to the right lab, and get the primary DNA from the baggie, if the baggie still exists, and that could still be very valuable. All you need is 1 to 10 nanograms of DNA material for touch DNA, and you have your suspect. You have the suspect people give the swabs, and you should narrow this down within days.
Does it seem like to you that they found it on the floor of the library? Because that's what it sounds like to me. They found it on the floor of the library, and then they moved it all around, and it wound up in a cubby where there was no camera and 500 suspects. Isn't that what it is? It's a cover-up.
Yeah, that's who knows. The person on the floor of there may have been a person on the floor of the library where this cocaine was found, and they'd take it off of his hand, then put it into the cubby. There's all kinds of counter and triple counter moves going on here to, again, somehow confuse those of us in the public and certainly some investigators. And I was on with you back in July about this. I am sure there are some investigators chomping at the bit, Secret Service, FBI, that really want to get to the bottom of this, but they're being told by their appointed bosses that no, this is keep the lid on this whole matter, and it'll just go away.
Would it
but
make
thanks
sense?
to you guys getting your FOIA requests back,
Sure.
we know more.
We got a thick stack here, and we're just going through it. Would it make sense for the Secret Service to hold on to this DNA sample just in case, just in case anything happened or anything needed to happen?
There's never a reason to get rid of evidence, certainly within weeks or months of a crime. 10 years down the line, maybe. But not at this point in time. It's just no rationale for that.
Yeah, they blew up the Coke bag and then they kept the DNA. Very, very interesting. All right. Well, we're going to keep digging
and
here.
Still very solvable. Very solvable, Jesse, if the right people get involved.
If I can solve it, the Secret Service can solve it. Thank you so much, James.
And without either of us doing cocaine.
I know. We don't even need to do any blow. We can solve it like that. Common sense. That's all it takes. Thanks as always.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor.
I don't know why they brought up doing cocaine so much. I'm thinking they had like a guilty conscience or something. They were like, we'd be able to solve it, and we wouldn't even have to do the drugs to solve it. Like, is that what they do? I no wonder people are investigators. They're out there doing drugs to solve crimes. I didn't know that's how it was done. I was unaware. I don't think it's that hard to figure out. FBI, CIA, they're all trying to figure out whose coke it is, but the big man's saying, don't worry about it. Like, that's evidence on its own. We know whose it is. They keep trying to say, it wasn't Hunter's. He wasn't even there that weekend. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's videos of him being there either the day before or the day after or even that day. We all think it's his. You guys can't come up with an answer, so we're just going to default till it's his until you say otherwise, and you give us an actual person to blame it on. Because if it was us and we brought drugs on federal property, they would be throwing the book at us. Like, absolutely. Like, even where I live is considered federal property because this is all subsidized housing. I live in a state where weed is legal, 21 and older, right? It's recreational here. Been that way for years. If I bring legal weed onto this property, I'm doing like 10 or 20 years over weed just because it's federal property. So then you're bringing coke not only onto federal property, you're bringing it into the White House. How bold for you to do something like that. And not just everybody comes and goes at the White House all willy-nilly. There's so much security there. It's one of the most secure places in the country. They know who that belongs to. There's no question about it. They know who it is. They don't want us to know who it is. Because they're not going to do anything to that person, and that might upset some Americans who know what would happen to them if they were in the same boat. That's what I think it is. I think that's what most people think it is. So until they give us an actual person, we're just going to blame it on Hunter, because that's what we all believe anyways. And they haven't really proven otherwise. They've said otherwise, but they haven't proven otherwise. We're going to read through the chat really quick. The next one we got coming up. Hunter Biden moves to subpoena Trump. Stupid. So stupid. I can't believe they're doing that. Sam, cocaine's a hell of a drug. I can't remember what that guy's name is. I just remember from the Chappelle skit that he did. Rick James. That's his name. Rick James. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Hair juicer, a forensic linguist. Is that what he said he was? I don't really know what those people do. Sam, I've seen Brass Knuckles in action and it's tough. Yeah. I mean, seeing Brass Knuckles in a magazine and all that and being like, man, I'd get that. You know, they're selling it as a paperweight because they're illegal. I've thought about it like, I might have to get one of those. But after my buddy got split, I was like, no. That is no good. Brass Knuckles are rough stuff. If I saw somebody coming towards me with Brass Knuckles, you're getting the 9 all day. I'm not getting hit with Brass Knuckles. No way. You might as well have a gun in your hand, because that's how you're getting treated. I see you with Brass Knuckles. You might as well have a gun in your hand. Brass knuckles are dangerous as shit. SEPA is covering up a crime, not a crime too, or at least a cause for an impeachment. I mean, I think so. I think so. They should be like alarm bells ringing. They should be getting down to the bottom of that. Having Schedule I drugs on federal property at the White House should be a big priority to get that solved. I mean, otherwise, what's the point of having the drug schedules in the first place? Right? If the standard is so loose that we got people just doing blow at the White House, it's no big deal, then why are we arresting and incarcerating Americans for having it then? If it's allowed at the White House, how come it's not just willy-nilly across the country? And I'm not saying we should have that. I've never done those kind of drugs. I don't want to do those drugs. I don't think those drugs help anybody. So I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's pretty you're being a hypocrite, right? If we aren't allowed to do it and we're not allowed to have it anywhere in our possession, but people are allowed to bring it into the White House and have it on federal property, and they don't even open a real investigation, there's obviously something wrong there. And if the people in charge are telling CIA and FBI and on the Secret Service and all these people that they're not allowed to investigate it, obviously someone's being protected. That's a crime, right? Like covering up evidence, all that stuff is a crime. Moving evidence, interfering with the crime scene, these are all crimes that no one's being charged with. They're acting like they found an empty juice box at the White House and they're trying to just dispose of it instead of going after whoever left it there. It's not an empty juice box, it's a Schedule I drug. So like they should be behaving a little bit more serious about this, and they're not, because they know who it is. So yeah, I mean, we could count the things that old man Walter and all those people should be impeached for, because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they still get to keep their jobs and stay free, and that's wrong. That is wrong. Cody, the 9, and I'm taking the arm as a trophy. I'm saying, with the brass knuckles still attached. Taking this home with me. Yep. It's reading through. What is the squeaky sound? Can you guys hear the squeaky sound? I'm about to yell out my slider. They ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna tell them get off my yard. Like we all don't share this yard out here. It's my yard. You can fight me if you feel otherwise. Nobody's gonna fight me. These people are like 80 years old. They're like, well, fuck it. Guess it's Jeff's yard out there. It makes me want to sing that song, that I'm an Asshole song. I can't remember who recorded that. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. That's me. That's my theme song. D-Cat, we the people of the United States of America should not be the police of the world, in my opinion. I agree. And I think it's one of the reasons that a lot of countries, if not all countries, don't like us. I mean, besides how we're portrayed on TV as big, fat, stupid imbeciles, because that's how we're portrayed on TV, and that's how foreigners see us. People in other countries think that is us, that we're just a bunch of goofballs running around crying about dumb shit and whatever, because they don't get to see real Americans. They only see movie Americans and TV show Americans and stuff like that. And they don't like us. And then on top of it, there's an American presence in every country. Like we're babysitting them. Like we can't just leave them to their own, doings. And so I agree. I don't think we should be policing every country out there either. I don't think we should be sticking our nose in anybody's business unless we absolutely have to. We got another World War II situation. We got somebody out there taking over other countries, like factually doing it, not just political words on the news, but factually invading other countries, storming, those borders and stuff, like what Hitler was doing, something like that. Yeah, it's time to activate. It's time to go out there and tell the kids to settle down before we got to press the button on somebody. But anything less than that, nah, I don't think we should be over there sticking our face in their business. If there's not an immediate threat here, or an immediate threat to taking over another country by brute force, if that's not happening, we need to just mind our own business, keep our doll hairs over here where the Americans need it, and I think that's that. It's too costly, resource-wise and all that. Besides moral compass, we're draining resources, occupying other countries that don't really have anything going on. It's a bunch of nonsense. And that's kind of like what happened with that, I can't think what it's called. The black dude named King who ran to North Korea saying that he was fleeing racism in the military, in the U.S. military. He's a deserter. That's what it is. And when he got busted and he came back and he's being detained right now by the military's holding him accountable, they're saying that he's under investigation for having inappropriate minor digital content. That he was either soliciting it, trying to obtain it, or he was in possession of it. But he was being charged with that, and they didn't mention any of that until he came back to America. He wasn't running to North Korea because of racism. It's because he's actually a bad person and he deserted his post. But in reality, if we weren't occupying Korea, he would have never been sent out there in the first place. He may not have even been in a position to solicit that content, obtain that content, or even desert his post if he wasn't there in the first place. If he was somewhere a little bit closer in arm's reach, we might have been able to prevent that from happening. Because although that's just goofy shit to us that we laugh about, it makes us look weak. When North Korea has to give us one of our own back who happens to be some pervert of some sort, and then we got to punish him, that makes us look weak. Like, we shouldn't be, that guy's a representation of us in the middle of a foreign country, and he's making us look bad. And so, like, I don't think that was, good stuff that happened out there. Just reading through. Matthew, what are you writing in the chat? Why are you just listing show names? Can Killer, Dennis Leary, asshole. There you go. You're awesome. I'm actually going to get that because I'm going to listen to that after the live and have myself a good laugh. I'm going to sing it to the cat because that's how I get down. Just flipping through really quick before we talk about how Hunter Biden is subpoenaing President Trump. Sam Ray Pneumonia, Hyena Harris is the worst VP we've ever had. See, I don't know a lot about VPs and stuff. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to politics until like 3 years ago, but I know that she doesn't do anything but cackle really loudly and not make any sense. She just speaks forward and reverse. Like we say it all the time. She gets on stage and she's like, the water is wet, and when you're wet, it's probably because of the water. And then everybody cheers, and then she goes ha ha ha, ha with her mouth wide open. Like, I can't stand her. Can't stand her at all. What do you think of the Israel government? Do you think that their actions are justified? I don't even know what they're doing. I live in America. I don't care what they're doing in the Middle East. That's their business. That's not my business. I literally don't know what's going on over there. I know it has something to do with Gaza. I know it has something to do with Israel. And I know it all has nothing to do with me. And so I have no idea what they're doing over there. That's the Middle East. That's their business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I worry about America. And until they bring that drama over here, I don't think it's any of our business. And I think Americans that are mad in the streets about Israel or Gaza or any of that, they must not have enough to worry about, because we got our own problems here and they're worried about other people's problems, and that doesn't make sense to me. So I don't think anything about Israel's government at all. I literally haven't thought about it until you just said that, and that's the first thought I've ever had about it, and nothing came up. So no, I don't care about what's going on in the Middle East. I don't want bad things to happen to anyone on the planet. But I'm not going to stick my nose in somebody else's business just so I have something to complain about. So I don't think anything about anything over in the Middle East. Out of sight, out of mind. Just reading through. Real life barcode tattoos. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what that's in reply to. I haven't seen a barcode tattoo in a long time. What a lot of people are doing is they're getting sound wave tattoos so you can scan it with Spotify and it plays your favorite song. It's a neat idea. What are you going to do when Spotify don't do that anymore? You just got the sound wave on your arm. Everybody's like, what's that? It was my kid farting for the first time. I just recorded it and I thought it was a cute moment, so I just tattooed it on my body. Like, I don't know what people are going to say. I have music on Spotify, and I'm not going to get the sound wave or any of that stuff. Like, nah, it's a cool idea, but I know a lot about community guidelines, and as long as there's a platform out there where I don't have control over it, I'm not taking any part of that and tattooing it on my body. I'm just not doing it. I really want to get the hooligan badge tattooed. I keep thinking about getting it tattooed on my hand, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Edward beat me to it. Edward's got it tattooed on his forearm. I'm not sure which arm, but like mid forearm, he has the hooligan badge tattooed on him. AB Hunter looked cooked out of his mind on the balcony at the event. Yeah, he was taking bumps right there on camera, and he did. He was like sweating. He was like greasing his hair back and stuff. Yeah, Hunter always looks like a mess. Even with his fake teeth, they got his teeth all crowned and stuff, so he's got perfect teeth because he cracked his teeth out. He still looks rocked out of his mind. What's up, Bloopy? He was totally there. Left the day to vacation with his dad. That's what I thought I remembered, that he was actually present at the White House the day they found the cocaine, but he was only there for a little bit because they were all leaving to go somewhere together. That's what I was kind of thinking, but I wasn't sure. What's up, Jerry? Happy freedom, and God bless you. I appreciate you being here. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy freedom. CB. No worries. No worries. Yeah, if you guys aren't getting along or whatever, just block each other. I've had a lot of viewers over the years get bent out of shape at me or at Snooks and be like, I'm having a problem with somebody and you won't come block them. You can do that. There's a lot of people watching right now, and I don't always see when there's problems in the chat. So don't take an opportunity to get mad at me or Snooks or Who Through or any of the other mods, because we're not coming to fight your battles for you. We don't want bad things to happen to you guys in the chats, and we don't want you to stress out or anything. You have the ability to block each other if it's necessary. You have a problem with someone, click their name, block them. We'll come in and intervene when we have to, but it's difficult to stop the show over that stuff. So if you're having issues, just block that other guy, and you'll be golden. Okay, you'll be golden. You can fight your own fights. We'll back you up. Don't worry about it. But don't use the opportunity to tear into us to fight your fights. And I'm not calling anybody out right now. I'm just saying, be aware. You got your own tools here to stay strong. Here, Juicy, you got a barcode tattoo? What was the thought process of getting it? Because I've always wondered, like, is there just, you just want the tattoo because you like the way it looks? Or do you actually find a barcode that you prefer for one reason or another and then get that tattooed? Because I've seen them, but I've never understood how people go about getting it done. Because I think it'd be cool if, like, you had it done and then somebody scans it, because, our phones have the QR code readers, and it scans it and it comes up as a box of ammo or something like that from Dunham's. I mean, I don't know what the thought process is behind it. I know some people think of it as the mark of the beast. Some religious people don't like the barcode tattoos, but it's your skin. You wear it how you want to. That's my opinion on it. Annette, I had a friend who had a Harley Davidson tattoo. Wait a minute. A Harley Davidson heart. Wait a minute. What is it saying here? I had a friend who had Harley Davidson hard ass tattooed on his upper rear end. In the tramp stamp area? On his? Wait a minute. I know dudes were out here getting tramp stamps. Harley Davidson hard ass. That's something. That's something. You wear your skin how you want it. That's all I can say about that. Cody, barcode, like I'm a product. I mean, we are. We're all just assets of the government. Your social security number is your asset number. So it's kind of like renting tools out, right? You put a barcode on the tool set, so if somebody steals your tools that you rented to them, you can call the police and verify those tools do belong to you and they were stolen. That's what the government does to us. They give us social security numbers because we're assets of the government. We go out in the world and we make money for the government, so the money comes back from its assets, and that's all we are. That's why a lot of people think that we have like federal bank accounts or something that we can pull money from if we become a sovereign citizen and all that crap. But the legality of doing all that, I don't know anything about it, and that's a really, really deep rabbit hole if you try to jump down there. Let's see. Cure juicer. I'm bought and sold every day. Used to be able to punch in with it before we switched to RFIDs. Oh, really? You had like your badge scan code? Oh, that's neat until they switch it to these things, RFIDs. Yeah, I got cards and all kinds of stuff. I have lots of security here after getting my identity stolen. I don't mess around. Anyways, we're going to move forward to this next video. It's titled Hunter Biden Moves to Subpoena Trump. This is just a sad cry for help from Hunter Biden. All right, hooligans, let's get it started.
This is going on. He's facing that criminal case on tax and gun charges. Everybody remembers that sweetheart plea deal that fell apart over the summer after the judge could not make any sense of it. Well, now the president's son is moving to subpoena former President Trump, former AG Bill Barr, and 2 others. So the president's son attorney filed a motion with the judge to call those people as witnesses. He says the goal is to find out if Hunter Biden's prosecution was a result of political pressure. Jason.
I don't think you'd even have to subpoena Donald Trump to want to come testify in the Hunter Biden case. I don't see any evidence that President Trump was pushing politically to get these prosecutions done, because they weren't. I mean, this is happening years after Donald Trump left. And I can tell you, when I was in Congress working with Donald Trump, trying to actually get the Department of Justice to cough up documents from the Attorney General, he was arm's length, would not make the call, just did nothing with the Department of Justice, to my great frustration. So they can go ahead and try to build that case and bring the president in there. My guess is the president will be first in line to say, oh, yeah, let's talk about this. I'll tell you what was going on and what should have been going on, but what didn't happen.
All right, let's get to this. We've seen widespread anti-Israel protests across America, and the Free Press are reporting that some of them were largely funded by a very wealthy American couple.
We're not going to get into that story. It's a bunch of nonsense. Anyways, I think that's crazy that Hunter Biden's got to be smoking crack. I mean, he's got to. He's going to subpoena President Trump to come in, and they're doing this because they think it's political antics. That the laptop, the gun charges, the tax fraud or whatever, tax evasion, like, it's Trump being mean. He's a big mean guy. But this stuff happened after Trump wasn't even in the White House anymore. So I don't just more dragging Trump's name into the news, more subpoenas, more stalling, more time before we have any accountability. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. I'm waiting to see how they even do this. They've been subpoenaing Trump to cover up Hunter Biden nonsense. Every time Hunter Biden gets in the news, for his cocaine problem, for his possession of guns problem, for the tax evasion, for the laptop, it doesn't matter. Every time he comes out in the news because they got dirt on him, all of a sudden Trump gets subpoenaed. It's literally the next day. We covered a video where they have a timeline, and it's like something pops up about Hunter or his dad. The very next day, Trump gets subpoenaed. And then a couple months later, same thing. It's like every single time Hunter comes up, the very next day Trump gets subpoenaed. And then in this case, Hunter comes up and subpoenas Trump, so we're going to have Trump and Hunter on the same day, and that's going to be something special. If we have, obviously, if there's any live stream related to that event specifically, we're going to cover that live. But we won't know until we get a little farther down the road. We're going to read through the chat really quick, and then when we move forward, we're covering a video titled Homeowner Shocked as Migrants Enter the U.S. Through His Backyard. That one's a frustrating video. That is a frustrating one to watch. We're going to read through the chat really quick first, though. And at your buddy rode hardtail framed older Hardleys. Why would he get the tattoo on his lower back, though? Is that because, like, when you're riding Harleys, like, your shirt comes up and then everybody can see, like, he dedicated Harley badass? So I don't know. I'm trying to walk through the thought process of getting your lower back tattooed. As that being the destination. a little bit more context would help me figure out what's going on there. I have a tattoo drawn up that'll do my whole back all in one go. I can't afford to do it, which is why it's just a digital picture at this time instead of a tattoo. But I've never looked at a tattoo and was like, I should get that on my lower back. I don't know. Everybody's walking their own path, so it's all good. Let's rain through the chat. Rappy, poor Trump. He gets blamed for everything. That's part of why he's the most famous person in the world, though. And he's tough, and he's got money. I just want to see him get through the other side of this, because I think he's like one of the most persecuted people in America at this point. I mean, everybody's got the finger at him, blaming him for stuff. Miss Jamie, put it on your butt cheek. Well, then how am I going to show you guys on the live? When I got my hands tattooed, I spent that whole day like sticking my hands all up in the camera and stuff. People want to try and figure out what my hand tats say. I ain't be able to bust the cheekers out. Hey guys, look at this. I could on the website though. I could bust the cheekers out on the website and show tattoos that way. You guys are going to have to get a membership over on the website to see that though. Let's see. Rappy, if someone farts, it's Trump's fault. Yeah, I mean, I blame it on Klaus, but if I was standing next to Trump, I'd blame it on Trump too. And I'm loud about it. I'm telling you, I got the dad vibes. So I'd be sitting there. President Trump? You can't be farting like that. And everybody's like, what? What's going on? I'm like, the Orange Eagle's over here farting. He's like, Jeff, stop it. Fucking stop that shit. Cut that out. Secret Service like, the president said stop it. All right, I was just kidding. He did it, though. He did it. It was the Trump. Like, ew, he farted. Secret Service just tackles me. Worth it. Worth it. I'd be famous as shit. White Supreme Pizza was arrested today, blaming farts on President Trump. That's what they would say on the news. His hooligan antics caught up to him. Nana, my tats tell a story. You tatted up, Nana? It's reading through. Kung Fu, stop triggering me. I remember before we had trigger words. Most people just got offended in silence. Remember those days? When people got offended and you didn't even know it unless you looked at the expression on their face? Because they weren't out here with the Twitter fingers doing all the deals. Can killer. I was gonna say that, but it's somebody's friend, so I'm not gonna go in. I'm just gonna let it go. But I was thinking the same thing. DeRosa, plumber's crack tat. I've seen some funny ones. I've seen some funny ones on the internet. I don't have the plumber crack going on, so I'm saying I've never really thought about tatting that area. I don't think I would like it. I don't got a lot of meat back there. I have your bones all riveted on, and your back and hip bones. I don't know. Samurai pneumonia. Our tax money is being used to solve conflicts all over the world, from the blue and yellow country to the Middle East. What's the solution? Pull out of NATO or something? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is now. They've been digging that hole a long time. I don't really think there is a way that we could pull out of those, any country really, without some sort of problem happening. Not sure. What's up, Stern? Happy freedom. I don't know what you guys are talking about over on Twitch. Marvin, all your tattoos are patriotic. Sam's got a pretty badass tattoo. He's got the flag all up his arm. I'm trying to think, because we got tattoo chats on Gilded. I need to put one on the website, a group chat. But there's a lot of hooligans got patriotic tattoos. I want to get some. I just haven't. I don't have money for tattoos. You guys see, it's like car problems, phone problems. Now I'm sick. It's like I just don't have money for fun stuff like that. I'd like to get the flag tattooed on me in black. That's what I would like to do as far as patriotic tattoos go. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Lionsgate, amen. Jeff Mack blocks me every day. I'm a bigot, apparently. That's not true. That's not true. That's fake news out there. You're not blocked. Bloopy, what they've done to Trump is shameful. In 100 years, people will look back and say, what the fuck? That's if, like, we're even allowed to have books in 100 years. Who knows? We might be like China by then. We could all be gone. The flash of light could happen before then. It's hard to say. What's up, Malvita? Happy freedom. So we're going to move forward. This next one's titled, Homeowner Shocked as Migrants Enter the U.S. Through His Backyard. Like I said, this video is frustrating. It is frustrating to watch. And the guy that it's happening to is ultra MAGA. So that, like, to him, it's got to be crazy frustrating. It's got to be. All right, let's get this started.
So a new Texas bill will allow the state to arrest and in some cases deport migrants, making it a crime to cross between ports of entry. While in the liberal state of California, border residents see hundreds cross through their backyards daily and cannot do anything to stop it, including our next guest. Watch.
There's a bunch of immigrants coming through my property. I do not condone this. Where are you from?
Turkey.
Where are you from?
Turkey, sir.
From America.
I don't think he's from America. The resident Brian Silvas joins us right now. Brian, how long has this been going on?
It's been going on, well, honestly, to be dead honest, since the Biden administration took over, this became a problem. It's out of control, and you know, I know that everyone knows it's happening. There's so many videos like mine all over the internet. So, I mean, if anyone that would say that they don't know this is happening, is just got to be under a rock or from another planet. But you know, they got to do something about it. You know, our border agents could get online on the border where the holes are and be 50, 100 yards apart and stop this, but they won't even stop them from coming in. They will not allow us to stop them. And they say their hands are tied.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, this is ridiculous.
Well, Brian, I think it all goes back to leadership. I talked to those same border agents, and they say, look, the administration won't allow them to do their job. They're responsible for processing now. They can't actually go after the people. I see your flag in your background. Do you think that having a new administration in office will turn this around?
Well, before our last administration, Trump administration, we had a lot better life in America. He puts America first. You know, this administration sends billions and billions of dollars overseas, doesn't take care of us vets, anything here at home on the homeland. And, you know, we got 10 million that they know came in. And, you know, this is, I've lived here my whole life, and it's never been like this, how it's been the last 2 years, 3 years. And it's just out of control, and they're just turning a blind eye. They're focused on so many other things that don't matter for votes or whatever. And these people aren't coming here to work. And I mean, it's expensive to live here. I'm a truck driver. I make a decent wage, and it's hard to survive here. Now, 3 years ago, I had no problem. But now I gotta, you know, I gotta watch everything I spend, everything I do. You know, there's no extra money.
Brian,
anywhere.
I tell you, brother, I understand. I understand the struggle. I'm sorry to interrupt you. My father is a truck driver as well, and I know what it means to be away from your family and just trying to make it paycheck to paycheck. We appreciate you coming on the program and sharing your story. That's a nice mug, brother. I got to get one of those for the studio. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
I feel like that guy is like the average American. How the majority of people feel. They're like, things are too expensive. The country's wide open for anybody and everybody to just walk through. They don't have to pay any dues. They're not being tracked. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to pay for anything. They just come here, do whatever they want to while they're here, while we have to foot the bill. We got to worry about our safety. And we got to follow the rules when they don't. And I think the majority of Americans feel that way. I think that's the way that the average American feels right now. And to sit there on camera and like, you know, watch these guys come through your property and to just even be nice about it and just be like, hey, where you from? They're like, oh, I'm from wherever I'm from, blah, blah. I'm from Guatemala. I'm from here. I'm from there, blah, 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 blah. Waving like they're on tour. Like they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how to do it. If that was my yard, me and the boys, we'd be all like, we'd be sitting there all blacked out. Like, there's no way. And I'm trying to think what I'm allowed to say and not allowed to say, because I don't want to encourage people to do bad things, but I know that there's no way that I would let them come through my property. I just wouldn't be able to do it. I would feel like the gatekeeper, like on Ghostbusters. Are you the key holder? I am the gatekeeper. Like, that's me. I'd be like, this is my property. This is where they're coming through. If I stop them here, I'm preventing them from entering the country. I am the doorway. That's how I would feel, because how my perspective is. And there'd be no way I would let them enter the country. I would feel like it's my personal responsibility to hold the line to prevent the invasion. Like, they're lucky they got that nice guy out there who simply just stuck the camera out and was like, where are you guys from? And they're all like, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Not me. They'd been picking their buddy up. They'd have been scared as shit. They'd have never tried to come through that area again. And nobody would know. It wouldn't be documented. We wouldn't have called the police. Nobody would know that this interaction ever happened. And then it'd all been booby-trapped, and they'd ever tried that path again, their buddies have been getting blown up and shit. So, like, nah. I'd be defending the border because I don't want strangers coming into the country illegally. If I have to pay my dues being here and I was born here, you're absolutely going to pay your dues just to come here. Okay, that's just how I see it. And again, and as always, I don't want bad things to happen to anybody, no matter what. But I'll be damned if you're going to use my property to enter the country illegally. I can't let that go. I just can't. Now, they're lucky that guy's a nice guy and all of that stuff. But man, that stuff pisses me off sitting there watching that. If you're going to come here, then great. Come here legitimately. Don't come here under secrecy, because as soon as bad stuff happens here, I'm blaming everybody that crossed that line illegally, because I don't know who's who. I just know if we start having terrorist attacks and bad stuff like that, and it is actually legitimate, you know, border crossers' fault, I'm blaming all of them. I'm blaming all of them, because I can't tell the difference between them, because they're all not supposed to be here. So how do you tell who's here to work and who's here to blow shit up? You can't tell. If they're here to work, they're here to live, they're here to be proud, be a proud American, you got to transition. Now, not turning your wiener inside out. You need to come through here legitimately and become an American legitimately. You don't get to just cross the line and act like you got American rights. You don't. You don't. And it's our obligation. It's our constitutional obligation to defend the border, and we're not doing it, because we know the federal government will choose their side over our side when we're standing on the Constitution. And it's wrong. The government's tyrannical just for that. Just for that alone is proving that they're a tyrannical government, and we should be standing against it, but we're not, because we got high hopes for Trump. And we ain't really trying to draw that line in the sand. But I bet you if only 10 Americans went down to the border and stood up and said they were there to prevent an invasion, constitutional obligation, I bet they'd be arrested. If not shot on sight and declared as white supreme pizzas on the news. But if that happened, America would see that, and it'd be go time. The government's tyrannical. And so I hope things turn around before something like that happens. But I'm telling you, we're that close. We're that close to the government just standing up and saying they're tyrannical by choosing them over us. And it's supposed to be our government. And so, I don't know. I really hope things smoothen out. But we're right there. We are right there. Like, it is that close to go time. It's almost 1776. And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope things straighten out. I really do. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick. We got one more video left. And it's talking about how those teenagers beat that kid to death in Las Vegas. And that's a rough one. I don't like ending on a bad note, but man, I couldn't find any good videos today. And that one guy said Pakistan. That's what I thought he said too when he was wandering through. I only had so much time to scan the video. But I thought he said the same thing too. He came here from Pakistan. I'm like, come on, man. We're just letting everybody in the country. And I would feel personally responsible. Like I'm saying, if I was that guy, that was my yard, I'd be like, I just let someone from Pakistan come into the country. I just let, you know what I mean? I would feel that way. And I'm not saying he should feel that way, but just of how I am, I would feel like that was my fault. If something bad happened in my city or my state because of a border crosser and they've been coming through my yard like that, I would feel personally responsible for the bad things happening, because that's just the way I am. And because of that, I couldn't let somebody come into the country illegally through my property. I wouldn't be able to. It's the way I'm wired. It's the way God made me. And I'm sorry if I have to be, but there's no way around it. No amount of being sorry is going to change that behavior. I'm built that way. It's just the way it is. It's unfortunate for them. Yeah, and I agree. If people come here and they want to be a part of America and stuff, they should be willing to practice American culture and all that. It's weird when people migrate here and then they try to turn this place into the place they left. If they like it so much, why don't they stay? Why come here and try and convert us into being like what they ran away from? So let's see. Serum, his name is Stan, and that's his backpack. Yeah. Or like when they have kids with them. It's like those aren't even their kids. They purchased that child so they can come here and make $2,200 every month on an EBT card that they're going to get from our government, because they're considered family when they're moving stolen children in across the border just to get it. It's like bringing a Coke can to Six Flags so you get $5 off your purchase. They just walk in with stolen children. Like, nah, it's no good. Normal time Biden squatters. That's the best phrasing I've heard about the whole situation. The Biden squatters. My goodness, that's a good one. That is a good one. Zero, they beat him so bad he died. Yeah. Yes, he did. We're going to cover it in just a second. Serum, Jeff grabbed the chapstick. You know he's serious. Stressed. I get stressed. This is like my stress ball right here. CCN. That's right. We have less rights than the illegals. It's true. I mean, it's not true, but they have more freedom than we do. They don't have more rights than we do because they don't have any rights, which is why I don't understand why, if they were to hypothetically be shot and killed and buried, how is that even a crime? They have no right to health and happiness here. They have no right to safety. They have no right to privacy. They have no rights here. If they were to be shot and killed and buried, did a crime actually take place? I don't think so. The federal government does, because Americans have been getting arrested for doing that exactly. But I don't think anywhere in the Constitution it says, hey, if you come into the country illegally, you're just okay to do that. I've never read that in the Constitution. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Let's read through really quick. Cody, it's Secretary Mac. I would love to be Trump's press secretary. I would love that. That'd be a dream job that I didn't know I wanted until earlier this year. I never thought I'd be there. I'd probably say that on stage in front of all those damn reporters after calling them all fake news and shit. Never knew I'd be here one day. Tree herder, it's your responsibility. That man failed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about that guy. He just seems, like I said, like the average American. But I myself, I would hold myself to the standard. And those guys, they can wave all they want to. I'll be waving back with the AR. Y'all better go. You better go. Don't come across that invisible line. We'd have like markers put up, and they'd be all waving, and you just point to the marker. Just, nah. Don't cross those markers. I see you walk on this side of those flags. I'll be down some ammo. You'll be down your life. Don't do that. Don't do that. You stay over there. No, you stay over there. You stay over there. You're safer over there. You stay over there. Joe, I can't say what I'd do if they killed my kid, but I would make the news for sure. No, don't get ahead of yourself, guys. Don't get ahead of yourself. It's hard to watch the video. There's nothing graphic in the video, so I'll say that. But it is hard to hear what happened and to put yourself in those shoes and stuff. So don't get fired up yet, because then you'll watch the video and then you're really gonna be upset. So just give it a second. But I hear you. I hear you. Pumpkin, we did fire KJP and we voted for you to be press secretary a month ago. I know, we need to let the administration know that they've been slacking. They owe me a month's worth of salary. I've been doing press secretary work from my living room with my co-host, Klaus the Cat Daniels. Hey, thank you so much, Anime Adventure, for donating an ice cream over on D Live. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see. DeRosa, Pakistan man meets Stan a packing. That's Hyena Harris talk. You cut that out. Cut that out. DeRosa, Max out here racking the pump action. I wouldn't let them come across that line. I don't know what it would take. I'd throw hot spaghetti on them. I fight dirty. I fight dirty. You ever had hot spaghetti thrown on you? You don't want no part of that. People worried about napalm. Nah, you ain't even got to go that far. I fight dirty. I'm telling you. Run out of weapons, I will pee on you. I'm here to win. I'm here to win. That's how I get down. Anyways, we're going to move forward. This video sucks, but we need to know that these things are happening. It's titled Las Vegas Police Arrest 8 Suspects, ages between 13 and 17, for murder in a teen's beating to death. All right, hooligans, let's get her started.
A reminder to all of us to have those difficult conversations with our children and remind them that their actions have consequences. Their actions have lasting consequences. Their actions have life-altering consequences.
8 Rancho High School students arrested for the murder of their classmate. 2 more are still wanted by police.
Fox 6's Kim Passoff is back at Rancho High School tonight, near where the off-campus fight happened. She joins us live now with the latest from police.
Yeah, last night we were here and we brought you that emotional interview with the father of the teen who lost his life after that brutal attack just off of school campus earlier this month. Today, Metro announced that there was a joint operation with the FBI this morning, serving 9 search warrants, taking phones and clothes, as well as 8 teens into custody.
I'm here today to announce that we have 8 suspects in custody for the murder of Jonathan Lewis.
Nearly 2 weeks after the brutal attack on 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis, classmates at Rancho High School, ages 17 to just 13 years old, were taken into custody.
After the fight occurred, he was laying unconscious and unresponsive in the back alley, and a citizen nearby saw him, began attending to him, and carried him back to Rancho High School, which is what prompted the initial 911 phone calls.
The fight happened right after school on November 1st.
It is directly east of Rancho High School.
Investigators say it was over a pair of stolen wireless headphones and possibly a marijuana vape pen. The 17-year-old victim stepping in to defend a smaller student.
And the minute the punch is thrown with that person, 10 subjects immediately swarm him, put him to the ground, and begin kicking, punching, and stomping on him. Not defending himself, and to the point where he becomes unconscious.
Investigators say, though the students were different races, there is no evidence this was a hate crime.
If this was a hate crime, there would be someone getting arrested for charges related to it being hate crime.
Monday, Fox 5 spoke with Lewis's dad, who says that justice will take much more than just the arrests of the attackers.
Justice is a deep, deep thing for me, and there's a lot more to it than just these kids going to prison. Justice to me is what is the community going to do about this? You know, when are people going to wake up and start having some compassion for one another and have some empathy and actually have a sense of community and actually work towards real solutions that for these children that are just going absolutely mad.
And police say that their investigation is far from over. They plan on releasing pictures of 2 more teens who they say were involved in the attack. Those pictures should be coming out shortly. As for, they're asking for witnesses to come forward, anyone who may have seen anything, anyone with video. Even if you think that they may have seen it, they are asking you to submit it so they can continue to build this case. As for these 8 teens who are already in custody, those 13 to 17-year-olds, they are in juvenile hall tonight. It will be up to the district attorney whether or not they will be charged as adults. Reporting live tonight, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
On November 7th, Jonathan Lewis was declared brain dead and became an organ donor. You can find a link to a GoFundMe account for his family and final expenses. It's on fox5vegas.com.
That is rough. That is rough stuff. I'll see if I can find the actual video of the interaction. I obviously will not be able to show it on these platforms. I could probably show it on Rumble and stuff. But what I'll do is I will either drop it itself, depending on how graphic it is. I will either drop it in Gilded or a link to it on Gilded, and I will put it on the website because nobody tells us what to do on the website. But I'll see what we can find. Leading up to this video we just covered, a lot of people have been saying that it was a hate crime, that it was a racial thing. Now, I don't know if that stuff being blown out of context, people jump into conclusions. We've been talking about that this week, about people get little clips of footage and then they put their own context in the captions and really paint the picture. And if the person who does that is big enough, if they got enough spotlight, people grab it and then copy and paste, and then it gets spread around as something it's not. I would like to know if it actually was a form of hate crime or not, because a lot of people leading up to this have been saying it was, and so I want to find the actual footage so we can make our own decision. Like I said, I'll post some link to it or the video itself, depending on how graphic it is, in Gilded, because Gilded has community guidelines. But I'll put the video itself, if I can find it, on the website, and we can make our own decisions on what we think exactly happened there, because there's politics and everything. That officer or whoever did the investigation could just simply be saying that it wasn't a hate crime to prevent any farther hole digging at the school or in the community. Maybe they have a lot of race problems, so they don't want to bring this into that. Who knows? But I want to try and find the footage so we can come to our own decisions on the situation. The kid wasn't just beat to death, he was beat unconscious, and then after everything settled, he was actually pronounced brain dead. So he didn't even just die from it, he became a vegetable because of it. And that's hard. Like, that's a hard situation to be in as a family member and stuff like that. That would be terrible to have to deal with that kind of stuff. And like the guy was saying, you know, it's not enough the kids are going to prison. I don't even think he realizes the situation. We were just covering a video earlier this week where, actually, no, it was the Grand Theft Auto with the teenagers, the 13-year-old, and I can't remember if the other one was 12 or something like that. 13-year-old was shot and killed attempting to open the passenger door of a car that had somebody in it. His buddy ran. The buddy was arrested after his mom turned him into the police after figuring out what happened. His own mother turned him in, which is pretty decent parenting after the fact. I mean, she probably should have been raising her kid to not steal cars, but, you know, kids are bastards sometimes, so she might have been doing the right thing and he might have just been on the bad path. You know, nobody's perfect. But either way, she turned him in, the police arrested him, and there was an attorney in the video that we're covering who was saying that even if he was to kill someone, he's probably not going to be charged as an adult. He's probably not going to serve life in prison. He'll just be in juvenile until he's 18, and then they're going to release him. Now, for that kid who was 12 years old or something, that's a long time. You're doing 8 years for Grand Theft Auto. But they were saying even if he had murdered someone, he still wouldn't get more time because of how minors are treated in the justice system and all of that stuff, in the court system. So this could be another one of those situations where these 8 teenagers that were arrested don't even actually do real time when they participated in a group beating that resulted in someone becoming brain dead and losing their life because of it. Now, if the 17-year-olds that are involved, because they said it's between 13 and 17, the 17-year-olds, they're fucked. Like, those people are fucked. They were trying to get me for everything. When I went to jail, I'd only been 17 for a few days, and they were trying to put everything on me, and all I did was get in a fist fight. I didn't do anything near what these guys were out here doing. So those 17-year-olds, they're fucked, or at least they should be. They should be getting murder charges. They should be doing 20 years in prison, if not worse. And they made their bed. You know, they gotta lay in it. But 16 and down, between 13 and 16, those guys may not even get significant time. They may not even get time at all for participating in a murder. And you know, how are those kids going to grow up? I wonder how they're affected now. How many of them are smirking in their mugshots versus the ones crying in their mugshots? Because we covered a video where there was 2 teenagers, a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, I believe it was in California, had a stolen car and were running people over in the stolen car, right? And the one guy that they ran over who was on a bike was a retired sheriff or something like that. And even after they were arrested, they're in court smiling and smirking, even saying they're not going to get any time. They were like, I'll be out in a couple weeks. So confident that nothing's going to happen to them because of the lack of accountability that we have in our country right now. Now, I still think the 16-year-old or whatever who became 17 by the time he got arrested, I think he's going to eat shit and he just doesn't know it. 16-year-old who was recording the whole thing in the passenger seat, I don't think he's going to get anything. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of this happen all across the country and stuff. But to participate in a gang beating where someone ended up being, you know, brain dead, there's no excuse for that. Like, there's no excuse for that. That's not manslaughter, that's murder. That's murder. And so they should get everything that comes to them for participating in that. But like I said, I'm going to try and find the video. I'm going to try and get it out to you hooligans. Make sure you join Gilded. If you're not already a part of Gilded, it's free. You can find it on the link tree, or join jeffmaclive.com, where it's the home of the hooligans, and we're not censored over there. We're going to read through the chat really quick. That was all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. So I'm going to drop that link tree link to all of you guys as I'm reading through. The donation links, the membership links, the merch links are all listed on there if you would like to contribute to the live to keep us running and rolling every day, because we're live every day except for Sunday, keeping you guys all up to date, keeping us all connected. Like I said, join Gilded or jeffmaclive.com, or both. You can join both if you want to. A lot of hooligans are a part of both, but that way you can stay connected, stay in the know, and receive notifications every time we go live, no matter what, instead of these goofy hit or miss notifications controlled by the algorithm on YouTube and all these other goofy platforms. Just skip all that, join Gilded, get the notifications directly from me. You'll always be here on time. Let's see. Annette, anytime you are striking to kill someone, you are hateful and you are participating in a crime. Absolutely. Hair juicer, send the cops to live. Yeah. It's up to them to do their job, though. That's the problem, is a lot of people aren't doing their jobs. And a lot of these cops want to do their job, but then the captain or whoever's in charge, the chief, you know, every police department's a little different. Whoever's in charge is like, nah, we'll let it go. And of course, they're getting their stuff from the mayor or the governor, and they're getting their stuff from the old man Walter Bastard administration. So it's, you know, it's all corruption. It sucks. It sucks that it's like this right now. Hey, I appreciate you, Cody. TJ, do you know how they remove organs when you're a donor? It's horrible what they do to donors. No, I don't know anything about being an organ donor. I don't know anything about it. Raja, people don't believe in one-on-one fights. My son used to bring home videos from school every day. It was always like 4+ on 1. It depends. It depends where you go. When I was younger and I lived in Niles, which is between it's like right on the state line in Michigan, but it's on the state line between Michigan and Indiana. When I got in school fights growing up there between kindergarten and 6th grade, 7th grade I think it was a lot of one-on-one, but sometimes you would have people jump in and whatever. And I think the school was majority white, and then second was black, and then we had a few people Hispanic, and we didn't have any Asians that I remember. But that's how it was. But then in 8th grade, I went to Clay Middle School in South Bend, Indiana, and that was a huge middle school, and it's majority black. There was only 4 of us kids that were white there. There was more Asians and Hispanics than there was white kids in school, which I don't care. But the fighting was a lot different. When I got on the school bus and we were going to throw hands and stuff like that, people were stabbing each other. And they weren't doing that before. But then when I went to that school, they were stabbing each other. And you had a high chance of being stabbed. I mean, every single day I was on the school bus, somebody got stabbed. That's a lot of stabbings. It was so bad. It was $500. You had to pay $500 if you got caught fist fighting at school, or they would not let you come back to school. You had to give the school $500, and because it was so bad. Nowadays they probably have metal detectors in the school. They didn't when I went. That wasn't even a thing when I went. But there was an instance where I had somebody who was bullying me, and I had enough. And one day I stood up and fought back, and we threw hands. And from that point on, there was somewhere between 20 and 30 people that had my name on a list that wanted to come from me because they were either a brother or a sister or a cousin or gang related to the person I had a fight with. And it was like fighting 5 people, 6 people, 7 people in a day. Might have to fight them all at once. Might have to fight them at lunch instead of eating. Nobody was coming to save me. Nobody was coming to save me at all. Talking about peeling my white skin off. Stuff like that. I grew up like that. I grew up with that kind of hate being tossed at me, and I'm not a hateful person. I don't feel bad towards anybody for any kind of reasons or anything like that, even though I was treated that way. But I'm trying to think of a way to say this because people want to take it the wrong way. It's the kind of area you grow up in. It's the way the people behave, the kind of society for that town really dictates everything. It's not a skin color thing. It's a culture thing. Not the culture of their skin color, the culture of that town, right? You go down south, they're all talking about barbecue and eating good because that's the culture down there, right? You come up to West Michigan where I live, hunting, fishing, hiking, that's what people do up here. That's the culture, right? It's not a skin color thing. It's a culture thing. You go to the south side of town, of any town, that's the bad side of town. Everybody knows that. South side is the bad side. Now people go there and they confuse that with skin color. It's not skin color. You go to any ghetto, there's white people there. There's Hispanic people there. There's Asians there. All ghettos have that. All projects have that because that's the culture. It's poor culture. Poor meat. Poor mindsets. Poor thinking. Poor justification. Poor people. It's not a skin color thing. People need to stop looking for it because that's the problem is people looking for it. You need to look at somebody at how they behave, how they talk, how they walk, how they move, the decisions they make. That will show you how they grew up, the culture they came from. Their skin color is not going to teach you anything. And that's just the way things are. And so where this person went to school, obviously, there's a lot of gang culture, people grouping up, people want to go through and move 10, 15 people in a fight on one side. It's lame. That's lame stuff. The only time I ever gathered people to watch me fight was to watch me fight. It wasn't going to be 30 of us beating on 2 people. It was going to be 30 people watching me beat some other kid's ass because that's how I get down. I like an audience. It makes me stronger. Honestly, it makes me stronger. It keeps that fight good. Why do you think UFC has a live audience? It's because it makes you stronger. But I feel bad for kids today because they got cell phones. They're being taught by these stupid cell phones. They're being influenced by propaganda, whether they know it or not. bad stuff happens. People can link up through Facebook and all that stuff. Next thing you know, you're getting jumped after school. You got 15 people kicking your ass, calling you bad names, maybe talking about your skin color, who knows, and nobody's coming to save you. And then as soon as it's done, there's videos of you getting your ass kicked being spread all over the internet. Like this poor individual who ended up brain dead because of the situation. And I'm going to find this video, and maybe tomorrow we'll talk about what I see in the comments, because I guarantee there's going to be people in the comments saying that he deserved it, even though there's no evidence that he did. I don't know who deserves to get their ass beat by 10, 15 people at a time. That's pretty rough stuff. If you're not a pedophile, I don't think you deserve getting your ass stomped like that. But it's messed up. You got to learn to defend yourself. You got to learn your rights. Go and get yourself a firearm. You deserve it. You're an American. We gotta run strong. That's what we gotta do. We need to stop being soft and putting our heads in the sand. Pour into your kids. Teach them things. Invest in them. So if they get in situations like that, they know what to do instead of take that ass whooping. They said he didn't even defend himself. He was sticking up for a smaller kid that was being bullied. That's me. That was me in school all day. I seen someone getting bullied. I'm standing up for him all day because I don't want to see people getting preyed upon at all. And so it really makes me feel a type of way to hear that story and to really know what it's like to stand up for people who aren't able to stand up for themselves. You see someone getting preyed upon and you know that's not right, and you interfere because you're doing the right thing, and then you get beat to the point where you are a vegetable. You're brain dead. Terrible. That is terrible. That could have happened to Daniel Penny. You know, they ain't even talking about him anymore. Had a radical dude acting crazy on the subway. He stood up for everybody, and he tried to detain the guy, and the guy, he died from the engagement. I don't personally think he tried to murder the crazy guy on the train. I think Daniel Penny was trying to do the right thing. He's a veteran. He was trying to just detain the guy, and the guy died. It just happened. But now that's become this big icon of what happens when you stand up for the right thing. You'll get Daniel Pennied. You try to save everyone from a bad guy, you try to stand up because someone else is being preyed upon, you'll get the Daniel Penny treatment. You're going to get prosecuted and demonized on the TV as white supreme pizza. And it's messed up. And yeah, that's happening and it's not right. But as long as there's right and wrong in the world, I'm going to stand up for what's right, regardless of what happens to Daniel Penny or any of that kind of stuff. We need good people in the world. We have enough bad people. And know your rights. Go get yourself a gun. Use it properly. Take the training. It's your right. Stay safe. Stay safe. So we're going to read through the chat really quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Like I said, we dropped the Linktree links if you guys would like to support the live and all of that stuff. Go down the list. Click on everything. Check it all out. I'm going to read through the chat really quick. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we're going to wrap this up. I believe we will be gaming 6 p.m. Eastern Time over on Kick, jeffmaclive.com, as well as Jeff Mac Gaming on YouTube if you want to come hang out with us while we're playing the game for a couple hours. Just forgetting the problems around us. Ain't nothing wrong with that, recharging some batteries and whatnot. We'll be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Matthew, why no teachers show up? Teachers don't get involved. They don't do any more than they have to. I've never seen a teacher that did. They do bare minimum. And I think they start off with the right intentions, but I think the school breaks them down. I think there's so much policy at school that teachers get worn out and they don't want to get involved. It's easier to look the other way than to get involved in stuff. Just reading through. Sly Dog, UFC has an audience to make money. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Cody, don't judge me on the color of my eyes. I won't. Okay, don't you worry. I won't, Cody. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, CCN. Just flipping through really quick. Hey, thanks for being here, DeBroza. Grey Wolf, Daniel Penny's a hero just like Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, I think so too. Who knows what would have happened? The guy was saying that he was ready to die, that he's not afraid to go to jail, and he was behaving violent and throwing stuff at people while they're all locked together on a subway train. Nah, I don't know if he deserved to die, but he definitely deserved, to get handled, to get tuned up a little bit. We gotta make those punches in the face great again. We gotta hurry up before all the cities get burned down. Proud dad, it's all ass backwards these days. You're right. You're right. American patriotism. My son does jujitsu. He's in the art of folding laundry with people still in him. My buddy's really big in jujitsu. It's good for the mind, body, and soul from what I've observed. Non-GMO, nobody deserves mob violence. I agree. All right, hooligans, I think we got everyone. Hair juicer donors are kept alive on life support and slowly harvested, including the eyes. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know a lot about. I'm not an organ donor, and I've never been influenced one way or another about it. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So you're really, you're informing me here, juicer, because I didn't know. Well, hooligans, we read through. It's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. I appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Like I said, we're going to play the game at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 hours, 15 minutes from now. Just hang out for a couple hours. We're going to be playing Fallout 4, continuing on with Far Harbor, just to recharge our batteries, have some fun, not be serious, let things go for a couple hours. But for anybody that doesn't hang out with us, over on Kick, jeffmaclive.com or jeffmacgaming for the game, we will be back right where we are today for Coffee with Hooligans tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.
Jeff.